to create a fairly large project, which will be a drag and drop project. So this drag and drop project will be, maybe you can find it like the Trello, which you all have seen, like the Trello projects, in which you can drag and drop something, like some new project comes, some new project go, all of these things are there, and it will be a fairly large project. So let's get started. Let's not waste time, and let's get started. And here, the first thing is I'm inside the TypeScript folder. Here I will do a mkdir drag drop cd to this, cd to this, drag drop, and then npm init dash y to create a package.json. And to add TypeScript to it, I will also add TypeScript to it here only. tsc dash dash init do. So TypeScript also will be added to it. Now I'll open this project anyways. So code. No. So this is open. Now I have to create let's create a bit of structure here, and dist and src, dist and src I have to do. And inside this src I will have a index.ps file and index.html file. Okay, index.ts and index.html. So let this there. Now here drag and drop. Now in the body to come, and here I'll do a script src list index.js, save it. Now the ts config file, which is already created because I use this command like tsc init. So we'll go to this ts config file. We need to uncomment some of the things here because the root directory and the out directory we have created. So all of these things are okay. Module is common, JS is okay. First thing is this root dir. I have to uncomment it and make it as src, and then out dir. This I'll do. Save it. Now that is done. Let us create some DOM now. Some DOM means index.html. Let us create something in this index.html. So in this index.html, I will go and first thing, let me add some CSS, link CSS I will do, and style.css, it is okay. Then okay, so this project we are going to work in a different way. Okay, so there is something known as template. Okay, so template are what I'm going to tell, but let me first create those template, then I will tell what is this template. Okay, so in this body I'll have a template of project. Template is actually HTML tag. Okay, so template of project. Then I will have this form, and as always I don't need this action, so I will delete this action. Then I will have a div dot form control. Okay, and then I will have a label for title and input type is text and id equal to title. Okay, so let me have two more form controls. Okay, so in this form control I'll have description and it will be description, and this will be not an input, but it will be a description is okay. This will be a text area, and row equal to 3, people, and people, and input type. This will be people will input type number, and id is people, step equal to 1. So in this input type number, we can have this thing like this step, and then mean. So this is HTML thing. Min is 0, and max is 10. Min is 0 and max is 10. And I will also have a button here. So this button of add project, and type equal to submit. Type is submit. Save it. Now we'll have some more templates also in this project, so let us create those other templates also. After this template I will have, and what is this template? I'm I'm going to tell template. It is not showing. Template id equal to ngl single, then here I will have some li, then a template. It is not, nobody, it is not coming. Template id equal to list, okay, and then section dot projects, and then header and h2, and after this header I'll have a ul and all. So this template is completing here, and after this I'll also have an empty div of app like this. I'll save it. Okay, I'll save it now. Okay, so I also need to start this project. I also need to start this project, and I'll do control J or command J depending on the operating system. PSC, which you have seen earlier. PSC minus W. Watch mode it will start. Watch mode it will start. No error is there, and all. Let me close this thing. Let me close this thing. But one thing is there. This template thing is never been shown. Okay. So why? What is this template actually? Let us see quickly. What is this template? Template tag in HTML. So if you see, the template to hold some content that is hidden when the page loads. This is very important. That is hidden when the page loads. Use JavaScript to display it. So it will be hidden whenever we put something in a template. It will be hidden when the page load, and we have to use the JavaScript to display it. And there are different ways to use the JavaScript to display it, and we will display it using the JavaScript. Okay, so let us go ahead and we'll use the JavaScript to display it. And JavaScript is there in the index.ts file, because this is what will go in the dist. So we'll go to this index.ts file, and then we will start creating everything, okay, to show it. And here we are going to use the class concept. Okay, we are going to use a class concept. So class project is template elem and html template element and render Elem is HTML div element, and form elem is HTML form element. Then we'll have everything with the class in this project. So that's why we'll learn a bit more about classes here. Constructor. This we already learned about classes a lot earlier. This dot template elem is equal to, I have to select document dot query selector, and I'm selecting project project. Okay, project. So which one I'm selecting? This project I'm selecting, this template, the ID project I'm selecting. Then but since this is a TypeScript, we have to give the type of it also. It is HTML template element. It is a template element. See, now this error is also gone. Now the next thing, so to make it a bit bigger, is this dot render elem equal to HTML div element and document dot query selector and app. Okay, so this now I'm selecting render element is this ID app I'm selecting. Then font imported equal to document dot import node. So import node, what is this import node? Import node is something through which you generally show this thing. Import node, they have not written it here, but import node is, see, there's a copy of the node. It's, if the deep is true, the copy also includes the node descendants. Import node, here I have to do the this dot template elem dot content comma true, dot content comma true I have to do, and then this dot form elem equal to HTML form element imported dot first element child. Then I will have a this dot attach. This is a function actually which I have to create right now. This dot attach, and we'll soon understand what it is been done. Private, it is a private because we are using TypeScript, so we can use this private and all these things. And then this dot render elem dot insert. See, there's two things: insert adjacent element, and then inside this after begin and after end is there. So the position is there after begin comma this dot form elem I'll do. And since this is the project, this is a class, we have to create an object or instantiate the class. So we'll do the const project equal to new project. Const project is new project. So till here everything is okay. Now let us see our project if it is showing something, and I'll go live, and yeah, it is showing something. Now if I go here, maybe I'll make it it's this much. Okay, and it is showing. So we know stats, but that we are going to put a bit later on. Right now only we are going to put, but let us understand it again. So this template elem and all these things I have taken, and in the constructor, when the constructor is running, I'm first selecting the project. So the project has been selected. I'm also selecting this app. So this, as I've told, template by default template will not be shown, and I have to select the app. Also in the app I'm going to showing the whole of the this template. So template, I'm selecting the projects template, which consists of all these things, forms and all these things it consists. Then we're doing this thing and imported node and template elem. This is something which we need to do. Then form element is imported, whatever we have imported dot first element child, because the template first element is this form. So we are selecting this form, which is the first element. Then we are running this attach. In this attach, we are using this render element, which is this app. In this app, we are inserting it. If I inspect it, it will be much more easier to see what it is there. So if I go here, see this div of id of app. In this div of id of app, only the whole of form is been shown. So this is what we are doing it. And there is a after begins after there is a this insert adjacent element. If I show this insert adjacent element. So in the position you have to give. So after being just inside the target element before the first child. So these are 2-3 ways in which we are going to do. So because we're going to insert it in a different way also. So that is there. This directory itself, we'll create a new file style.css and paste the basic styling here, because I'm not going to explain much of the style because it is not a CSS project. So see, it will show like this. Maybe it is okay. Okay, it will be good. Wait a sec. Add some more styles. Okay, so that is there, and it is showing like this. Now what to do here? Now we are going to add some more elements here, because I want to select this title, description and page also. This title, description and this people also. So this also I wanted to select. So in the index.ts we'll go and we'll add those things. So here after this I've had a title elem is html in input element, and description elem is html input element, then people elem is html input element. Okay, so we'll again make it a bit shorter. Okay, so now we'll add this other elements. So for this, after this first element child, I'll go and here this dot form elem dot id, because I wanted to add id here. So this id I'm creating user input. You'll soon see in the HTML will see this thing. Then we have to add these 3 new things. So this dot title elem equal to html input element, and this dot form, because it's inside a form, this dot form elem dot query selector, and this is the hash title, and similar to this, I'll do it 2 times. This dot description elem, and this dot people elem. So description elem will be this id of description, and people elem will be this id of people. This is done. Now we'll have a, after this we'll have a config. We'll have a function of config. So let us create that function of config, and it is like this dot config, like this. Now we'll again make this private config like this, and then this dot form elem dot add event listener and submit e like this and e dot prevent default and just this dot title elem dot value. Just we're seeing that it is working or not. So value I'll do now. What just happened? Okay, so why did these styles just broke down? Okay, so Control J, Control C. Sometimes you have to close it. Suddenly string. So maybe I'm feeling okay. Make the styles. I don't know why I'm getting this issue from 2-3 days in a lot of other projects also. This style is not taking it. It's styles and something is taking. Okay, whatever that. This is not related to this project only. This I'm getting it in a lot of other projects. Okay, so that is there. Now it is looking much more better. I'll do inspect and go to the console because I've just added a console.log for this thing. Just for one thing, we are going soon going to change this thing. So console.log this dot title elem, only title elem I've added. So it means if I add anything here like React.js and the add project, I'll click. So this React.js has been shown because the submit has been and submit has been handled and it has been shown. Okay, so because this the config is only having this submit button, so that is there. Running the list, first thing which we need to do in this config, we are going to have something more instead of this console log. Of course, we're not going to have this console log. We are going to take a new let user input and array we're going to create. In this will take a string. So this is type I am giving. Okay, so string and number. String and number I am taking equal to. I'm creating a array, so which will contain this dot title elem dot value, this dot disk elem dot value, and I'll do a plus here. So why I'm doing this? This will also come as a string, but I don't want to store it as a string because I want to store it as a number. This dot people elem dot value. Because even the number, if you type it here, it will come as a string only. So I'm changing it to a number. So this I've done. Then after that, I will do a const title disk people. So I'm doing array destructuring equal to user input. Okay. Then let me do also CLG. A console log, do this console log and see that whether all these things are coming fine or not. And then after that, what I'm going to do, this dot title elem dot value equal to this empty string. So I'm doing this empty string because of course I don't want it to be remaining there. So this is a very common thing which you always do. Okay, so this is a title elem and this dot disk elem and this dot people elem dot value. I've done, save it. Now that is done. Now we need to create a new list class because I want to show the list, all the list I need to show. So we'll create a new list class and we now have to select a lot of things from here. Like in the list, we are going to show all the things. Whatever the user enters, we were going to definitely going to show it here. So I'm come after this project, and one more thing we need to do here. So this project is not a good name, so I will change it to input and input and this dot proj input. Let me write it like this, and this will be input. Okay, so now that it has gone, it will work like same. Now I will come here and do a class list like this, and so this is a complete class based thing, which is a very good thing. And these two things I'm going to first select: template element and render element. Always we will have these things because there is always a template and there is a render is there. So template and render I'm going to say, and I'm going to have a section also. So I will write it as section elem is html element, then we'll have a constructor private type is active or type is active or finished. So this is something which will be coming here. Then after this I will have a bit of this thing. Let me copy these two things. Okay, so because template elem, again I'm going to select a template elem this time. That time it was a project, this time it will be this list. So exactly the same kind of concepts will be there. So here I'll come and do the list here, but I'm going to show it in the app. So app will be there. So a lot more other things will be like this only. So like this it will be there. Okay, so let me select this also, and when you can copy some code, why not? This is what imported again is like this. Now I have to import the section elem also, and the section elem will be something like this because this will again be the first child. Okay, so instead of this form elem, this will be section elem is like imported dot first element child, and then like here I will have an id also. Okay, so this id. Okay, one more thing here I want to show. This element, if you go here in this element, see this user input in the form was added by this line form elem.id. Okay, so that is something which I wanted to show. So now here also we need to do some id. We're going to add some ids here also, so let us do that. So here, how do this section elem will have a, like here we'll have here also this dot section elem dot id equal to dollar, not this, dollar this dot type projects. These are type projects, and then I'll have this dot attach and this dot content render. So this is some of the functions which we are going to create. So first thing is this dot attach. Actually it will be quite similar to this, but there will be one small difference here which you're going to see this. This will again do this render insert adjacent element, and instead of form element it will do this section elem, but after begin I will do it before end. So before end, and this was one of the main reason we did it like this. Like it will be after, before means after. You'll see in the structure we're going to see it will be shown in a different place. So I'm adding two elements like this whole template also I'm putting in this app, and this whole list also I'm putting in this app. So I'm putting at different places, one is before and one is after. So we're going to see that thing, okay, how it has been shown. So now this content render I have to create. So I'll do here private content RENDR private content render, then this is const list id equal to dollar this dot type projects list, and so a list id again, I'm creating one thing list id, and the other thing here also we did something like config and all. Other thing will be this dot section elem dot query selector, and ul I'm selecting. So what is this ul? Inside this section I have this ul, so I'm selecting this empty ul. I'm selecting, and dot id equal to this list id which we have just created, and then this dot section elem dot query selector h2 dot inner text equal to template stringing again this dot type dot to uppercase and projects. Okay, so this projects is there. Save it. Now we need to call this class and all. So this classes are again, we would create an object here. So we'll go and const active list equal to new list and active const finished list equal to new list finished. So save it. Now see, I'm seeing this active project and finished project. Actually inside this the project will come. So this active I'm sending it here active. So in the constructor it is going here. In the constructor it is type is as active it is taking, and this dot section element. So this dot type is active projects it will do, and then it is calling this attach and render also attach, where it have to attach in the anchor in this app where it had to attach, it is attaching, and content render is showing like this dot type again, it is taking the type and that project list, and in the ul it is showing this li. Okay, ul it is showing this list id. Okay, id not li, ul it is showing this list id, and this h2 also it is showing like active project and finished product. If I go to the inspect, and you're going to see here like this. One more thing, this user input I'm showing the user input or the form with a after begin, just after, and before end means just the before it is ending. So before and after this section is been shown, and section contains everything like this. There are two sections, one is for active projects and one is for this finished project. So the active projects have all this thing. If you go inside this header, and ul is there, header h2, and the ul I'm adding active list, and we're going to have some more things here, like anyways the projects will be there. So just now we are showing the headings and all here, and this is what the finished projects is there. Okay, so this is there. Create a class of a state. It will be a singleton class which with a private constructor. Okay, so let us do that. Class of a state. So before this I will come here and class of state, and here I will have a private containers, and it will be any equal to like this, and then private projects any equal to like this, then so contain all the states and all here. Okay, so after this private static instance of state. So this is a singleton class which you have seen earlier also in a class segment. Then I will have a, because the singleton class have a private constructor. It means that you cannot create an object out of it. This I'll have. Then static get instance like this, and then if this dot instance, then return this dot instance, then this dot instance equal to new state, and return this dot instance. Okay, return this dot instance. Then we'll have two functions here. One of them will be add this and this because it will receive a function. So I'm writing that function. Then this dot listeners, which we have just created an array of listener, private listener, this dot listener dot push. Okay, so listener function. So we're doing this thing because soon we are going to have some projects. Okay, some projects here, and those projects, every one of the projects should have a listener, because then only we will be able to drag it. Because if we don't have a listener, how are we going to drag it? So we don't know how many projects will be there. So that's why we're creating it like this. So this I've done. Then add listener. After this, add project is title is string, description is string, nums is number, and then I'll create a new project from here. So const new project equal to id is math dot random dot to string, title is title, and description is description, and people is nums, and then after that this dot projects dot push new project, and after that I'm pushing this new project, and in each project there will be a listener. So for that I'll have a for loop for const list function of this dot listeners, and then listener function, and here love this dot projects dot slice. So this dot project dot slice, we are adding a making a copy and adding a new project in it. Okay, with this listener function. So this listener function is this dot project dot slice. So from here we are doing it like this. Okay, so now we're going to create this, because this is a singleton class, so we have to do a const prj state equal to state dot get instance, like this. Get instance will be there, save it. Now in the back to our list, so how we're going to call all these things and all. So back to the list we are going to go. So where is the list? So list is here. here, first thing is I'm going to come here and do a assigned projects is any. Then after this app, this dot assigned projects equal to empty array like this. Then after this projects, I'll go and then prj state. PRG state is what? PRG state is we have created this singleton instance like this. We cannot get an object of this. So PRG state dot add listener. So with PRG state, I can directly call this add listener. So add listener is this thing. Add listener is this I'm calling, and then here inside this projects I'll have, and it will be any projects and any. Okay, so like this, and this dot assigned projects equal to projects, and this dot projects render. This dot projects render. What is this dot project render? Project render is something I'm going to create. So this assigned projects, each of the project I am sending. So assigned projects is this array. Assigned project is this array of empty array, and in this I am adding each of the projects. So this list will, all the projects will be added there. So now this projects render, which is, it is giving me error because I have to create this projects render. So I'll come here and do a private projects render, and then I will have a const list el equal to html ul list element, and then document dot get element by id, and then here I will go and then do this dollar this dot type is projects list. Again I'm going to create like this dot project list, and that then for const prj item of this const prj item, there should be space of this dot assigned projects. This dot assigned project, because I want to show this project. This dot assigned projects, then const list item equal to document dot create element and li, and list item dot text content equal to prj item dot title and list el dot append child list item, save it. Okay, so that is done. Class, where is the input class, we'll be calling the add project function. So here we will go after this config where the user input is there, then I will call the with the again this prg state dot add project, and then this three things I have to pass: title, disk, and people. Title, disk, and people. This maybe I'll remove this thing. Okay, so like this I have to pass three things. So let us go and add a new title, and let us see whether it is coming. No, so I'll go React Yes, add project, it is showing. So we are not showing anything else right now. So node, yes, it's showing, but it has some bugs, so we are going to fix that bug soon. But and we're going to do the filtering logic also. But let us again see this thing, like this input is there, and this input, we are getting everything from the data in the from the input, and then we are calling this add project. This add project I'm calling, and that project is adding the project, adding a event listener to it and all. And then this list is also run. So this list is, then this list is going through this, it is already always this listening whenever some project add listener is there. So this add listener is always listening, and in the constructor, and this dot assign project equal to projects. If some project come, it will be there. And then this render project is running. In this render projects, we are showing putting this project list, and then prg item is this assigned projects which are made equal to the projects which is coming. And then with the, we are adding a li here, and text content is equal to prg item dot title. Just we're showing the title right now, and we're appending it here. So if we inspect any one of them, we're going to see this active project list is showing here. Active project list, like this, all of them are active projects list are being shown here, and inside the ul I am creating a li. So this is how this is working. Okay, so now we are going to add the filtering logic, and also need to fix this small bug is there. Need to fix that bug also. So now we are going to add the filtering logic. So we need to create a, we'll go up here again. And this projects, this anything is not good in TypeScript. So we're going to change this any to contain something, because that is not how we should work with TypeScript. So I will come here and do a class of project, and it will have a constructor public id is string, public title is string, public description is string, public people is number, and public status is project status. So these are some of the things which it will expect. So this, what is this project status? So this project status will actually be an enum. So I'll go here and do this enum project status of active comma finished, active comma finished I'll do. And then add project is there. So first thing is that this projects, now it will not be any, it will be a project of array. And const, see this new project, it is giving me error because I'm not going to take it in an object. I'm going to create a new project, and then like this, to give all these things here. Okay, so this mat.random dot toString will go here, comma title will go here, comma descriptions will go here. Let me remove this thing, this is causing a lot of issues. Okay, so description will go here, and instead of this, now we'll go here the ms. But there is one more thing which will go here, is the project status. Is implementing the filtering logic. So project status will either active or finished. So project status dot active I'll do, and save it. Now in the list, uh, we'll go. So list we will go. So here also we have this anything. So anything is always not a good thing. So we'll make it as a project type, and this will also be a project type, and then we'll go. And now there is one more anything which is bothering us. So this anything is there in the listener, so let us fix that also. So I'm go here and do a, so all these things we're doing because of TypeScript. Type now equal to items, and project is void, like this. Now this listener, instead of this any, I'll have this listener, and instead of this function like this, I'll have this listener, and listener function is okay. Now in the list, we'll add the filtering logic. So in the list class, we'll go and add the filtering logic. Based on that, it will be showing in active projects or whatever is active or finished. So here in the, where is the list? So not input, in the list we have this listener, it is adding. So here we are going to do that. So const relevant projects equal to projects dot filter, and prj is this dot type equal to active, and ternary operator, then prj dot status equal to project status dot active. So we are having a lot of ternary here. So it's like inside a if there is another if, or prj dot status equal to project status dot. Okay. So relevant project, we are adding a filter, and the filter, whatever the type of it, type is equal to active, then using this ternary operator, then we are seeing that okay, if the type is active, then again we are seeing this is project status, this is this, or project status of this is this. Okay, so we are doing like this. So now we are going to have a this dot assigned projects equal to relevant projects. This dot assigned projects equal to relevant projects, and then the thing is there will come here, and we will make each time this inner HTML equal to nothing. Actually, that was something which was causing the error. So what we are going to do here, I'm going to come here and do a list el dot inner HTML equal to this, and save it. Now what will happen every time, all the projects will go to the active project right now. So if I do a react js add project, and it should, okay, it is still showing at both the places. One sec. React js add project, it is showing at both the places. Okay, so let me check. Is a assigned project equal to projects or something? So I will cut it and save it. Now again I will go here and react js add project. See, everything will now go to the active only. So the project is also like this, it should go to active, then I should be able to drag it to finished project if it is done, anything. So it is working fine. So now what we're going to do, we have some common functionalities if you see our list and our item list and input, uh, okay, list and input. So we have a lot of common functionalities here, like this template and this constructor and all these things. So we are going to move them to an abstract class known as component. Okay, so for that we are going to create a component class. So before this list, I'll go and I'll create a abstract class component, abstract class component, and then here I'll have a t extends html element comma u. Again, this is the same thing which we have seen earlier, extends html element like this. Then okay, let us have some of the common thing here. So like this, I will have this template element which is html template element. Then render elem is there, which I will make it equal to the t. Then section elem will be a common thing. So because at one page there is a section elem, at the other page there is a form elem, so that is something which is different. So what I'm going to have here, I'm going to have a element, and which will be this u which is coming, u will be there. Then let's do one more thing here, this constructor, let me copy this constructor, or maybe I'll copy this constructor. This is much more easier. Okay, so I'll go here and this constructor is there, template elem. Okay, and we'll receive some of the things here. First thing is that template id is string and render elem id is string comma inserted at insert at start is boolean. Okay, because we have two type of inserts at, so we're going to see both of them. New elem id is string, so that is there. Then this time we are going to use it in a different way. Okay, so there is another way to use it, so let us see that way, which we have already learned earlier also. Document dot query query selector, or maybe I will use this time get element by id, not animation, get element by id. And what I'm going to do here, this template id I have to pass it here, but since it's a TypeScript, and another way to do it is add is not as html template element like this. So the error has also gone. So render element is again, I will remove this thing, let's have some consistency. Get element by id, it is like this, render element id, which is getting passed here, and the type of it is not as t, what we are passing here as t. Okay, so that is there. Then imported is okay, imported is okay. Document dot import node this dot element id this content. Now after this form and all will be not there. This okay, so instead of this it will be element, this dot element is imported dot node dot first child as the u which is coming. So then we'll have not have all these things here, we have this attach here, this dot attach will be there, not everything will come. Config also I'll remove here. and this is not form ID and all this is not there. Now I'll have if new Elam ID, new Elam ID is there. Okay, so then this dot, how we're passing it, you're going to see that soon also. New Elam ID, that ID is equal to new Elam ID, new Elam ID, and this dot attach will be called with this inserted at. Inserted at, it will be called. Okay, there is one error here. This is not like this. It would have given a big error. So everything is used. So this attach I have to create now. So I'll do a let me copy it. So I'll come here and it is my okay. So private attach and what is there? And now I'm getting this boolean as one of them is before end and one of them is after end. So how to do that? And inserted at, I will get it as insert and boolean, insert at boolean. So this array is also gone, and this dot, it will be element, this dot element, and it will, I'll take this insert which is a boolean and use a ternary operator, and I will have a after begin, because one of them is after begin and one of them is before end. After begin, not before end, there should be dot. Okay, so like this it will be there. And then what we need to have here, we need to have two functions because it's an abstract class. I need to have two more abstract configure. So if I'm making this as abstract, so it is the responsibility of the child class to do it. Abstract and content render and void, I'll do, and save it. Of component is created, we will start removing the code from our list. The common codes we're going to remove from list also, and then after that input also we're going to remove it. Okay, so let's get started, and first we're going to remove from the list. So list, first thing is that list should extend this class component. So it will do, I'll come here and do a extends component, extends component, and we have to give the types of it. It is HTML div element, comma HTML element, HTML div element, and HTML. See, it is already giving me a lot of errors. It will give. So first thing is that we don't need all these things. All these things we are going to remove. You'll see how short the code will become. Remove all these things. Then after this, in the constructor, it is okay. But we again don't need a lot of things here. And in fact, I'm going to remove all of these things. All of these things I have removed. Then in the super, we are going to pass everything here. Super, we are going to pass the list. Okay, let me do one thing. By way of passing the list. So let me first do it, then I will remove it. Super, I'm going to pass the list, comma app, comma false, and dollar type dash projects. Yes. So this type dash projects is this thing we are passing, and false, we're passing false because in attach we need this before end, so that's the reason insert at the start. So if you pass it as false, then what it will go, it will go the before end. Okay, so that's why we're passing it as false. And list is what we have to target, which is the list template element, which is the list we have to target. So we're targeting the list, and render element is the app, so app we have to target. So that is how it is there. Now we are going to remove this all, because we don't know, this is the common code which is there. Then content render is okay, and attach anyways it is not required. Attach is already been done in other things, so attach is not required. So after this we need to have one more thing. That's the reason it's giving me an error. So I will have a this dot configure, this dot configure I'll have. Okay, so this is the configure I'll have, and this, oh, I should not have removed that thing. One sec. Okay, so again I have to do, no problem. So actually this code will go in this is configure. So let me first make this thing, this dot configure I'll do, and in this dot configure I will call this attach thing. I don't require, so I'll remove it. Anyways, attach also I will remove it from here. And okay, configure will have this prg state dot add listener. So this thing prg state dot add listener, this will be contained in the configure. The configure we have to create, because I have created it as an abstract, so it will give me error if I have not, if I don't create it, it will give me error. So this configure I have moved all this in prg state logic I have moved, and after that this is calling this project render, and this is how it is working. So now I can easily remove this thing. This all I can remove now. Finally I can remove all these things, but it's still giving me error. It's still giving me error for a reason. And let me hover my mouse over list and content render is private in type list, but not in the component. Where is content render? Okay, this dot content render. Okay, content render, first thing, it should not be private, so I have to remove this thing, content render. And see, now the this is gone. Now this assigned project and all, so let me fix it first. And this is not now section element, so this is the common thing which is the element now, because we are using the element here. Okay, this element we are using, so this will be element, and this will be element. Okay, so these two will be element, so they are okay. Now assigned projects is still giving me error, because assigned progress has no initial and definitely assigned to the constructor. Okay, so we have to do one more thing here. Assign project I have given here, and after this we have to come and we have to assign this. So we have not yet assigned it, just we have declared it. So this dot assigned project equal to an empty. So that's the benefit of TypeScript. It's already giving me errors. So now I know. Okay, so now see, no error is there. Now I save it. Okay, so now I have saved it. I think one thing is not open. Okay, and which is tsc minus w. I think I forgot to open it, this thing. Okay, so it is there. It should always be running. Then only it will be changed into the JavaScript file. Okay, so that is there. Now the same thing we are going to do. See the logic. Now the code has become so less, so all the common code has gone to this component. So now the next thing which we are going to do, this input. So this input also we need to do the same thing. So in the input, this title text, description, and people element, these are something which is not common, which is already there. So we have to remove these three things, but we have to do a extends component, and html div element, comma html form element, like this I have to do. Now again I will do this super. Okay, let me copy this thing, this super. Where is the super? Okay, then we'll also see the difference. What is the difference is there? So I will copy this super and come here in the constructor. Super is there. So here instead of list, I have to do the project, and this will be true here. True, because here the attach is having the after begin, so this is true here. And this type project, instead of this type project, we'll have this user input. I will have this user input, and then after that, before moving this time, I'll do something. Okay, we don't need all these things now, so I will remove this. Okay, so title, so as I told, these are not common. Title, elem, description, email, and people email, people elem are not common, so we have to have that. But these things will be now not form element, 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 element will be there. Then after this, attach, I again don't need. And okay, and instead of this calling as config, I will call this as configure. So because that is the name which I have given it, configure. So this one will be configure, but I cannot keep it up private. I will do it, and this dot element dot add event listener, add event listener e. Okay, so now e dot prevent default and all, e dot prevent default and all, it is there, and now it is gone. Okay, so that is there, but it's still giving me error because it is telling me that non-abstract class input does not implement inherited abstract member content render, because in this I have given this content render should also be there. This was not yet done, but we will be doing it soon. So let me copy it, and I will come here, come here, come here, come here, come here, and after this I'll go content render like this. I'll do and save it. So content render is there. So now this is there. But before seeing everything, we're going to further optimize it. Okay, by putting the add listener. So this add listener, where is the add listener? Okay, so in this state there is a listener is there. So this add listener is there. We're going to put it in its own class. Okay, so how will we do that? So here I will have after this type, I will have a class listener, listener, listener state. It will take the type of p, and it will have okay, it will have where is the listener? Okay, so this is the listener here. So I will cut it from here and move it here, but it will be not private because I want to inherit it. So protected, it will be protected. And then this add listener is there. I will cut it, add listener, and put it here. Add listener append, and all these things are okay now, but we have to do some more things here. So this type listener is there. Type listener, it will be of type t, and it will be of type t, and here listener state is t, but listener is of type t. Okay, and this listener is also this t. Okay, so that is there. Then now we have to add it here. All the others are also gone. So here class state extends listener state and project. State and project is there, and private constructor is giving me error because now I am bringing out something from here to super. I will do this super, and the error will be gone because I am extending it from here. So this super I have to do. I will save it. See, no error is there. The main thing in TypeScript is that no error should be there. So now I will go here and let me see everything is working fine as usual. React JS, add project, node JS, add project, Yeah, everything is working fine. Showing the title, only the title, description and people are not being shown. So that is the thing which we are going to do now. Okay, so for that, what we are going to do, we are first going to go to this template, and there is a single template here. Inside this li, I am going to create a h2 h3 and a t. So these things I will create first. Then we are going to create a new class now. So because that class will show everything, like input is there, and that class will get the data from the list. Okay, so list right now, in the list, what we are showing, where is the list? Okay, list. Yeah, so list, we are only showing the title here. So from here only we are going to have this, going to a new class, and this new class will be called, of course it will be called the item. Okay, so let us do one thing, let us create it above the list class. So class list, and it will be also similar to what we have created, this list, and the other class which you have created, it is similar to that. So now that's the benefit of it. Now we'll again extend it from the component. So I will create a item and extends. We also have to do the same thing in the template. We have to show the app. The template we have to take from here, this template of single, and we have to show it in the app. So again the same thing will happen. So component, send component, and then html u list element comma html li element. Okay, so then it will again, anyways in the starting it will give us error because we're not taking the abstract classes. So we'll have a private project is project, and we'll have a getter and setter here. Okay, we'll have a getter and setter here. So let us do that. Not getter and setters, only a getter will have. Okay, this getter will have for a reason. I will tell that reason later on. So persons get persons, this is a helper function actually. Return this dot project dot people equal to 1. If there is only one person in the project, then I will return one person. So now you might be getting it. In the project there are really multiple persons, so that is what we wanted to do, but minimum one person is required. So return one person, or dollar this dot project dot people and persons. This dot project dot people and persons. Okay, so persons I will put. So that is there. Then I'll have a constructor. So if multiple is there, we are going to do the plural of things like that: 2 persons, 3 persons, 4 persons, like that. Constructor, and in the constructor I will get the post id as string, comma project as project. Then I'll have a, again I will have this super thing. So let me copy this thing from here. Super now will contain this single. So from where I'm getting this single, I'm getting this from here. So this id, like this list was coming from here. Single is there, app is there. Now instead of app I will have this host id. Okay, I'm sure going to tell what is this host id. I will pass false, and this will be project dot id. Okay, then after this dot project equal to project, and next we are going to have a this dot configure and this dot content render. This dot configure and this dot content render we are going to have. Then this configure we are not going to have right now, but we are going to have it later on. So I will have this configure here and configure like this, and then I'll have this content render I'll have, and then I will have okay, let me write my own. So this dot element dot query selector. So what I'm selecting, query selecting this h2, h3 and pe. So I'm going to show the three things there. Query selector h2 not dot inner text equal to this dot project dot title. Then second one will be h3, and this will show the number of persons. So this dot persons. So why I'm calling this dot persons? When I call this dot persons, actually this getter function will run. This get function will run. So this dot function will return me one people or two persons, three persons, and after that what I'm going to do, plus space assigned. So one person assigned, two persons assigned, three persons assigned, like this. And this p, I'll come to this p, and in this p, this dot project dot description, this dot project dot description will be there. So whatever is coming in the description will come. So we have created this item. So now from where we need to call this item? So we'll go to the list. As I've told in that list, we were only calling this project render is there in the list. In the project render here we are only creating an li and showing it in this title we are showing. Okay, so we don't want to do this thing. So I will remove this thing, and now what I am going to do, new, I'll instantiate this item here from here. New item is this dot element dot query selector and ul. So dot id dot prj item. So here this ul I am passing this ul. Okay, so actually inside this you'll soon see that inside this ul everything will be shown. Inside this ul this alive will be shown. So this ul I am passing ul dot id, I am passing this here, and then this ul I am passing, and then this prg item, the each item which is there I am passing each of the item. So that is there. I'll save it now. Let us see whether it is working or not. React JS, this is React JS, 1% add project, it is coming exactly fine. Node JS, this is Node JS, 3%. So see, one person assigned, three persons assigned, one person assigned and three persons assigned. So this is how it is working. And one more thing, let me show one more thing here. So if you see, I have to do it like this. See, inside this ul it is showing this li. Inside this ul it is showing this li. So ul only the li is, and id is I'm taking it as different. Okay, so this is how it has been shown. Okay, so that is done. And the next thing which we need to do is to able to drag this thing like this, dragging from here to the finished project, like your Trello. Okay, so let's do that next. And so dragging this thing to here, so dragging the active project to a finished project, just like the Trello. So we're going to do that. So to do that, there is a property in HTML known as draggable. So if you write here draggable HTML, So there is a property of draggable. So we're going to use that thing. It is not that difficult to create a draggable. Since you have to make a draggable is true. So for the draggable to work, so element is draggable or not. So I'll go here and do okay. So here in the HTML, I will this li contains this whole thing. So this li I will make it as draggable is true. So draggable is true. I have created. Now I'll go back to the index.ts file, and here I have to add some draggable interfaces which we are going to soon use. So I will go here and interface interface draggable, and here I will have a drag start handler, and event will be drag event. So this drag event is there, and it will be of return type will be void. Return type will be void, and drag and handler event will be drag event, and it will be void. So this drag event okay, so okay, so we'll come to this all things are there. So drag event and all these things, these are all also coming from your JavaScript. So all these things, drag events and all these things, they will come from JavaScript only. We will come back to this thing soon. So interface draggable is there, and interface, there will be another interface, interface drag target will be there. It will have three things. Drag, soon going to use them, then we're going to learn how we are going to using drag over handler, and event again the same things will be there. Actually all the events will are of type this only. Okay, so let me do two things: drag over handler and drag over handler, and then drop handler and drag leave handler. So these three things we are going to have here. So everything is different, so that is okay. Now we will go to this item. This item will go, and then implements draggable. So now I'm implementing a draggable, the first one. So this one I'm implementing. So now if I'm implementing this thing, it means that I have to use these two things. That's why it is giving me an error. So drag start implements draggable. So it is implementing draggable. Okay, so now I will come here, and after this constructor only I will create drag start handler. But the main thing is that there was some issue with this keyword here, so I need to make it an arrow function. I've seen this issue. This keyword issues come here. We have to use this keyword soon here. Okay, so event will be drag event. Okay, right now I only do the console log, clg console log, and it will be drag start comma event. Okay, drag start an event, and then drag and handler. Okay, it is giving it by itself. That is okay. I don't need this void and all that much, first thing. And for another thing is that I want it to be an arrow function. Okay, so this arrow function I need it to be, or else it will give error. Okay, so drag event, I made this, and I will make it underscore. Underscore means I know it is required, but I don't need it. So clg I will have a drag and okay, so I have this thing. Now in this configure, I will come and this configure, I will add it. Okay, so this configure is when the configure is running when the constructor is run. So in configure, I'll have this dot element dot add event listener. Add event listener when. Okay, so event listener when this drag, see this drag start. Drag start is actually a type of event. When the drag starts, then I will call this dot drag start handler. Okay, similar to this, then I will have a drag end. So these are like click handlers. Okay, so here I will call this. So what are they like? They are like on drag end or all. Okay, so you can have it here also, and you can have it where is this drag start in JavaScript. So you can see this drag start. You can do the drag start also. So drag start, the event will fire on the drag start is been done. So this is how, so all these things are available in JavaScript, JavaScript and HTML. Drag start, drag end. So let us see whether this is working or not. And for that, I'll inspect console, but I have to add something first. React, yes, this is React, to add. Okay. I think I need to dock it separately so that it is easier to see. Okay, so I have taken it outside. Now I will drag it. Okay, so I will drag it. See, the drag start is happening. When I'm dragging it, drag start is happening, and then I will so I have clicked on it and kept my mouse, press my mouse, and I can drag it anywhere. Okay, and if I leave it, drag and this is been fine. So this is how this is working. This is working fine. So now what we need to do, so in the drag start handler, this drag start handler method, we will call a set data function. So this set data function, and in this set data we'll set the project ID, and there is a effect allowed which we need to make it true. So let us do that thing. So this drag event time there, I'll remove this thing and do event dot data transfer. So event of data transfer, so this data transfer is something which is there, not dot set data and then text plain and then this dot project dot id, this dot project dot id I'll do, and then event dot data transfer dot effect allowed, yeah, effect allowed equal to move. So this is something which you have to make, effect allowed equal to move. This is something which we have to do. So event dot data transfer is something which I do, and this set data, so I'm setting the data with the project ID. So what I'm setting it with the project ID. So this is very important. I'm setting it with the project ID. Then what we need to do here, so we need to go back to the add project. Okay, so go back here. Where is my state? Okay, so state is there, and in this state we have this add project is there. Okay, so here we have to come, and in this add project, this all add project is there, and in this add project we are going to move a lot of the code from here. So this for thing I'm going to move from here for loop, I'm going to move from here, and I'm going to create a new function here, which is like private update listeners. Private update listeners will be there. Then this for loop will be there right now. Now what will happen in this, when I'm going to add the project, I'm going to call this function from here, this dot update listeners. I just have to call it. And another thing which I have to make is a new function known as a move project. So this move projects I have to create. So let me create that here. Maybe after this I will have a move project. I'll have move project, and this move project will have this project ID is string new status is project status, then const project. So this is what we are doing. This is, we are updating the status of the project, and when you're moving from active project to finished project, this will be used. So new project equal to new project, and creating an object of it, and math dot random. So what I'm doing here, I'm creating a unique ID. So most probably math dot random dot will give me something unique. Okay, so that I'm doing. Then I have to give the title, comma description, comma nums, comma project status dot active will be there. Okay, it is giving me error. Okay, sorry, actually I have made the wrong code. This is the code which we already have in this add project. This move project code will be different. Move project code will be const project equal to this dot projects dot find. We have to find the project, and it will be prj is prj dot id, and equal to project id, and if project, and then project dot status not equal to new status. Friends is more than enough. Okay, so project dot status equal to new status, and this dot update listeners. So I'm again going to update the listeners. I'm going to again update the listeners, because again the listeners should be updated, because if I'm moving some project, there some of them will be already remaining. So I'm finding the project, and then I'm changing the status with a new status. So from where do we have to call these things? So for that thing, in the list, we have to implement this all these things we have to implement. So we will go to the list, because list contains all these things. Okay, so we are going to go to the list. Where is my list? So list is here, and here I have to do implements drag target, implements drag target. Now here we have to add these three things: drag over handler, drop handler, and drag leave handler. So we are going to add these three things, and in the configure we are going to call these three things. So I will go here, and here after this constructor I will have, take it a bit up, constructor I will have a drag over handler equal to, I will, okay, It is giving me these things, but I don't want it like this, because I want it as an arrow function, or else, as I've told, there are some issues with this keyword and all. It will cause an issue, because I found that those issues are there. So drag over handler is there. Then if event dot data transfer and event dot data transfer dot types of 0 equal to text pane, then first thing is that event dot event default we have to do. Okay, so type is text pane. So what is this type is text pane? Type is text pane was something which we were passing from here. So type is text pane. Now where I am. Okay, so that is there. Then const list el equal to this dot element dot query selector, and it is ul, and then list el dot class list dot add. I don't want this optional and all. Class list dot add draw. Okay. It's giving me error. Okay. Okay, maybe it is expecting. Okay, so sometimes you have to do what they say. Okay, so class list dot add, we are adding a class of droppable. Okay, so after this, what I have to do is the drop handler equal to event and drag event and this like this. And then here I have to do a const prj id equal to event dot data transfer, not dot get data and text plain. So this get data is there, and here we have this set data, and here we have the get data. So project id I have to get, and then in the project id this prj state is the instance of that prj state dot, because I have to, we are calling this move project method which you have just created. In the move project I will first do this prj id, which you have just got the prj id, and then this dot type triple equal to active, triple equal to active, and then it is there, then this, and then project status dot active, or project status dot finished. So if it is like this dot type is active, then the project status will be active, and if it is not active, then this will be finished. Okay, so this is something which we have done. Now the next thing which we will do is this, the last thing, which is the drag leave handler. Again, I don't want this, I don't know why it is giving equal to, and take this and do this, and then maybe I will not want this, and then const list el equal to this dot element dot query selector ul. Okay, so this not also here. Okay, so ul I'm choosing, and then list el dot. Okay, one more thing here. See, I can use a not here, or I have to use or else here. Okay, so because I'm using the same thing here, but I'll not use it here. See this, it will not give me any error. So class list dot remove, I will remove the droppable. Okay, so this droppable I will remove. Now in the configure I will come. So this droppable is what? So droppable is, see this droppable, droppable means it is droppable, means it is droppable. And okay, see this droppable, actually I'm changing the background here. In this droppable, if I'm adding that class, I'm changing the background and all here. Okay, so that is there from the CSS. So again you have to call all these three things. Okay, so this dot element dot add event listener, and drag over comma this dot drag over handler, and then drag over is there, and drag, when the drag leave will happen, then I will call this drag leave handler. And then when the drop happens, means I take my finger over the mouse, so the drop will happen, then this will be drop handler. I will save it. Okay, so now let us see whether everything is working fine or not. So we'll do react this, react this, web app, maybe some web app in react js, one person add it, and node js apis in node js, 2% assigned to it. So I have done this. Now I will do this drag and I will move it in the finish. So it is getting in the finish. Okay, and see the background is also changing. I can do this also, and maybe some, and again some other work came and it was not finished. So I can, I think, okay, so I can move it back also. So this is all. So this all completes our quite a big project. And the thing is that in the next chapter, what we are going to do, we are going to work again on this drag and drop project. But this drag and drop project is a very big index.ts file. We don't want this very big index.ts file, and we will learn about modules and webpack in the next chapter. Okay, thank you. In the previous project which we have created, we're going to work on that project only. That project was a very big index.ts file, and it is not good for programming. Okay, let me share my screen. So this was the previous project which we have created, the famous drag and drop project, but it is a very big ts file. Okay, so we should not have a project like this. Okay, it's more than 200 lines of code, and we should first divide it. So we'll first divide it into module. We'll also look into webpack into this. So let's get started. And the first thing which we need to do is to come to this index.html, and here the script is there. So script, I have to make it as a type equal to module. Okay, so why did I make the type equal to module? So I make the type equal to module because I want to use React kind of a import, or else what happens in a normal project, you have to use the Node.js kind of import, which is not very much good. Okay, const something equal to that. Okay, so type equal to module I have done. Then what I am going to do inside here, inside the src folder in which host my index.txt file, I will create a new folder known as models, those models, and inside this I'll put a drag.ts and project.ts, drag.ts and project.ts I will do now. Okay, so in this drag.ts, what I need to do. So we are going to slowly move everything from the index.txt file. So in drag.ts, I'll go to the index.ts file and I will cut these interfaces which are there. So I will cut it and put it in the drag.ts file. Okay, but since they're in a different file, I have to export it. So I'm going to export it. So export, export and export is done. Now the project.ts, we are going to put the this project class and these two things we are going to put. Okay, so project.ts, I'll put these two things, I'll cut it and I'll paste it again. It is going to be an export and it is going to be an export. So both of them are exports and exports. Now that is done. Now we are going to create a state folder inside the src, not inside the model. Inside the src I will create a state folder, and inside this state folder I will create a state.ts file. Okay, so set.ts file, and inside this I need to bring the state. Bring the state, mainly state.ts file. I have to bring the state, so I will bring the state here. So this type listener and all are there, and this state is there, and till this thing I have to bring it. So I will bring it till here, state.ts. Now it is giving me some error here for this project. Okay, so this project, it is giving me some error. So let us see whether this quick fix is fixing. Add on missing imports, will it give? Okay, yeah, so it is giving me. Okay, so project and all it is giving, but since this this kind of file is there, I have to add .js also at the end. Okay, .js also at the end. I have to add. See, all the errors are gone. Errors are gone, and see, there is no error here. So that is there. Now we will create a in the src we'll create a components folder, because we have three components, different components. So I'll create a components folder and a new file base.ts in it. So here again in the base.ts we'll go, and there is an abstract class component. So we are going to take this abstract class and put it there. So this is the base class. So I'll put it here. Okay, one minute. So I think I forgot to do one thing here. So that would have caused a lot big issue, because all these are separate projects. Okay, so all these things require something as export. All of these things require export. It would have caused a lot of big issue. Export, and this also export, because we're going to use all of them in the index.ts file. So I have done two exports here, and in the base.ts file also, base.ts file also, in which I have just put the abstract class, I have to do a export. I do the export here also. Then after that I will go. Okay, so in the components folder, see this, we have item class. I think we have three classes here: item, input, and list. Okay, item, input, and list are three classes. So one more thing in base.ts. Okay, I'm not doing anything here. Okay, okay, so this item is there. So this item, we have to create a new class for it. So I will create a inside this components where this base is there. So it is also component, and it is item.ts is there. And here I'll go, and this class item, cut it paste it, and it is also asking me all the things. Let us do again the same thing. Okay, let me do first export, or I will forget it. Export is there, and all these things, it is giving me a lot of error. So let us do again the same thing. I'll come here, and that was a good thing to do. Quick fix, add all missing imports. So oh, it is quite good. So it is adding all. I didn't need this thing, add all missing imports, do this thing. Okay, .js, but we need to do this .js. It is very important to do this .js in all the files. So I will do this thing. See, again the errors, there should be no errors. See, TypeScript is the good thing about TypeScript is that if there is no error, it will show us no errors. Okay, so in the components now, as you know, from after the items we have this list. Okay, so list is there. So I will do in this components, I'll do a list.ts file. List.ts file I'll do, and in this list.ts file I'll come and I will put this list, of course, cut it, paste it. The one thing which I need to do is export. I need to do, and then let's do the same thing. Come here and quick fix, add all missing imports. So a lot of imports were added. Okay, but we need to do one more thing here. As I told earlier, .js, we copy this thing, .js, 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 and .js I have to do. So this is because this is actually not a React.js project or something. So this .js and all we have to do. Alright, so now in the we have one more thing which is remaining in the index.th, which is the last thing. Okay, which is this input. So input is remaining, so I will cut the input. Okay, did I export it? Yes. So in the component I will do a input.ts and save it, and then I have to do a export, and then I have to come here and do a quick fix because it's a good way to do it, and it is adding all of them. And then I have to do a .js, and here also .js I have to do, not sg.js I have to do. Sometimes this happens, and again all the errors are gone. So finally in the index.ts, see, the main thing is index.ts is now nothing is there in the index.ts. Everything is removed. Okay, so now that's the best main thing. So here we just have to do this thing. I will remove new import. No, wrong. I have to remove actually this thing. This thing I have to remove. This thing I have to remove, and this thing I have to remove. Okay, and I have to add it. Okay, quick fix. Add all missing imports, and all the missing imports will be done. Again, I have to do the .js and .js. Okay, so all the missing imports have been done, but still we have to do one more thing here. I think my J is already running. I have to close it because tsc-w was running. I'm closing it for a reason. I have to change one thing before we go ahead, and here in the tsconfig.json file I'll go, and we have to rerun it actually properly. So here the module, there is somewhere the module is there. So module is common JS. No, module I have to make ES 2015. Module I have to make this thing ES 2015. Okay, so that I can add those imports and all, and then I will save it. Okay, and now moment of truth, I'll go control J and ts-w and see it is coming. Let us see whether it is actually working. So React JS, this is React, people is fun, add node, This is Node.js 3 add. Yep, it is working fine. And with this, our module is done. Okay, so next we are going to do Webpack. But actually, two problem. First, see this dist folder. It is exact replica of the SRC folder. So it means we have a lot of JavaScript files corresponding to TypeScript file, and that's the reason our code is not optimized. JavaScript adds to the bundler and all. Okay. So one more problem is there. If you open the inspect here and open the network tab here, and let me do like express JS and this is express for add project, and then I'll move it. Okay, why this network is not working? Okay. Okay, it is not showing. Okay, so see, when our scripts load for the first time, so there is a lot of network calls. See, like this JS, you're seeing all these things. It is doing because what is happening, a lot of JavaScript files will be there. So when we are going to deploy this project, all this JavaScript file will be called, because there are all these JavaScript files, are the small JavaScript files. All of these things will be called. So it will also be not be optimized in that way also. So generally, what is required? We require one single JavaScript file. So that is where the Webpack come for a rescue. We don't need so many JavaScript files. All this TypeScript file is okay, but at the end of the production should have only one JavaScript file, single optimized JavaScript file. So that is why we use Webpack and all those bundlers, and those bundlers come in built in React and all those things, Webpack and Babel, you must have heard. So but in this project we have to do it on our own, because this is our own TypeScript project. Okay, so what we are going to do here, first we are going to install some of the things. It's always okay, so installing it, this drag and drop is there. So let me install it from here only, drag and drop, and it will be npm I dash d dev dependency. It is a dev dependency I'm installing. Webpack means it will not go to the production. Webpack CLI and Webpack dev server and type script and ts dash loader and do, and yeah, so this I've done. Now this is going, yeah, so let me, I can close this, all this thing. Okay, so this is done. Now what we are going to do here, in the ts config we'll go, where is my, I want all of this thing opens because we have to do something from here soon. So this ts config will go, and in the ts config this root directory is there. We will comment it out because we don't want so many things to be there. Okay, so this root directory I will comment it out. Okay, then we will have actually all these things from the Webpack config file. So now the next thing is that Webpack doesn't want us to have the imports as this JavaScript files. Okay, this JavaScript file means, in the previous thing, if you remember, in all the imports, here there is no import, here there is no import, but here there is an import. We did this JS, but in where we are going to use Webpack, we don't need this JS things. Okay, so I will cut it. X, save it. Base, nothing is there. So let me close some of the things which doesn't have anything. State was there, base, nothing is there. Item state I remember. Okay, control it will be, and replace it with nothing. Just 3 replacements are done. Replace it with nothing. 3 replacements are done. 2 replacements are done. Control F. I think dot should be there. Dot JS. replace with nothing, and here also it should not be JS, it should be .js. Then save it and it's gone. Okay, so that is well. Now we need to have a file which we need to create it on our own. That file is known as a webpack.config.js file. Webpack.config.js file. Okay, so in this webpack.config.js file we need to have some things here. So let me copy paste that because it's a kind of a boilerplate code. Okay, so and okay, this is spacer should be equal. Okay, so webpack.config.js file, what we did first, we are we are importing it, and here we have done this entry point. Okay, so one thing you might have noticed, we had done this root directory I have commented it out earlier, because this thing will control from the webpack is, I am telling that it's the entry is index.ts in the source, so that is I'm telling. The element is there, then the output file name will be bundle.js, and the path and all I am giving, and in source something it is required. In source map module is like ts loader is a important module to change TypeScript files to JavaScript file, and exclude the, and I'm also mentioning that exclude the node.js. I don't want the node modules. I don't want a node module, and resolve extension TypeScript and JS it should do. Okay, so that is done. Now what we need to do, we need to go to this package.json file. I'll go, and in script, anyways we don't use the script, so I will do a build, and I will do a webpack, do a build and a webpack. I'll save it. Now the thing which we need to do is we need to remove all these files, because this files were created at an earlier thing. So inside this dist, not don't delete the dist folder, but all these files, right click and delete it, move to trash. So the disk should be completely empty. So now what we need to do, we need to do the command which we are just given, npm build. Okay, so how to run this command, we need to run this command by npm run build, npm run build. Okay, so it is, if everything is okay, it will, okay, see it was so fast, it is done, and all these things. And if you see here in the in this, now I have only one file, which is a bundle.js file. It's a very big file. We don't know, some optimization, see too much optimization is there. Okay, but we don't know, but the optimization was done, so that is there. Now what we need to do here in the index.html file, we don't have this index.js file right now. We have this bundle bundle.js file, and I will save it. See, now it is again, it is there. So let me inspect it and go to the network. Go to the network. Okay. Now let me do a refresh. See, only the bundle.js file is coming. Okay, not so many files. So bundle.js file. So our that problem is solved. It is completely optimized. Now let us see whether our system is working or not. React.js. This is React project. One people add node. This is node project. Two people add. So I will click it. Will come. Node, click it, it will come. So it is working fine. So this completes our chapter of modules and webpack. In the next chapter we are going to create a project. Actually now projects are only remaining, so we'll start creating a different project in the next chapter. Thank you. out there, even more popular than Angular and all. Angular by default comes with TypeScript, means you have to write in TypeScript only. But React by default, it doesn't comes with TypeScript. Okay, so even when we create a React project through npx create React app, it doesn't uses TypeScript, means all the files use JavaScript. But if you want to create a TypeScript project, there is a different way in which to create the project. Okay, so the viewer is expected to have a bit of knowledge of React JS. Okay, for doing this, npx create React app, and then I have to do dash dash template and template, and have to do template as TypeScript, and then anything party app. I'm creating a party app. Then this related a dash dash template TypeScript. This thing is very much important to create a TypeScript project. So I will start it, and then okay, so let it be done. So this will be like a party app. The people you are going to invite in a party, it will be like that. So let it be done. So it is taking some time, but generally it takes some time like this when I'm streaming or when I'm recording, or else generally nowadays React app is created in within like 30 seconds. Like now it is taking a bit of more time. So, and I am also going to tell a trick, by sometimes the TypeScript types are very tough, like you'll find it. Okay, so it is done very quickly. So I'm going to tell a trick also here in React how to do that thing. Okay, so first thing I'll do is cd party app as they're telling me, but I will open it in the VS Code because I want to see what is there. Then I will do a npm start, and okay, so it is opening, and it is, see, one thing very much difference is that it is showing, telling me the app.tsx file is there. Generally when you do a React app, it gives me app.js. So if I go to src, I will also see that there is a app.tsx file, TypeScript file, tsx file. Okay, TypeScript XML, like JSX is there, then like that TXS is also there. So now what we are going to do, we are going to create a very simple app. Okay, so it is not very complicated app. Just the main thing is to see how to get the types and all. So here I'm going to first remove all these things as usual, and I'll do a h1 people list birth day party, people list birthday party. I'm just creating this. Okay, it's showing perfectly. Now this logo I don't need. Okay, so after this I will have a const people comma set people comma set people equal to use state. I have to import, and generally in a React, this use state thing, I'll just create a state like this. But since this is a TypeScript and I'll have some state, I can leave it as like this. But we are learning TypeScript here, not React or something else. So I have to give some type here. So what I need in this people will have age, image, and a note will be there for each of the people. Maybe something like that. Okay, so I'll create an array of object here. Name is John. Okay, so name is John, but let me first do one thing. Let me give a type of it. See what is record and how to give a type in a use state. You give this thing like this bracket you give, and then here I have to give it the type. So here first thing is that it's a array of objects. So I have to create this. Then it will have a name which is a string. Then it will have a age which is a number. Then it will have an image which will be a string because it will be a URL. So string. Okay. Then maybe I will make it a bit like this. Okay. So that is there. Then the next thing is that last thing is that there will be a node which will be a string. Okay, let this name John, comma See, it is started to giving me error because I've given the type, and age is 30, comma img. Let's take img from a famous image place. Random user. There is a random user. Maybe this one. Okay, so this random user thing I will take as image. Okay, then note. This is kind of a party note, which in birthday we have allergic to peanut butter. Maybe we want to keep those things in mind. Who is allergic to what? So what not to serve them? Okay, so John is there, and then comma and Jane 28, and this I know it is woman and allergic to X. Okay, so like this I have created, and so this all these things are there. So now I'll go back, and now we need to show it. So we'll create a different component to show it. So I'll come here, and in the src as always. So this is a React thing. Generally create like this only. Components folder I will create, and in the components folder I will create a people list.tsx file. People list.tsx file I will create, and see, it is giving me error because it's a TypeScript. So okay, so I have to call it actually RAFCE. It will not give me error. Okay, the moment I do this, it is not giving error. Let me import it also. So here I'll do a people list, and I will give a people equal to people. This React is giving me also some. So I'm passing this people here. Okay, I'm passing this people here, and it is started to giving me error. It is started to giving me error because it is telling me that it doesn't exist there. Okay, so see, this is the benefit of TypeScript. So when we receive the props, it's a different way. Like I'm receiving some props here. So should I create everything else first? No. Let me see. First thing is that I'm creating a props, so I will make it a people. So I'm receiving the people props. Okay, and it is again giving me error. Okay, it is giving me error here. It's now. Okay, so okay, one thing. Okay, so people is there. Now, what is this people? What is this people have? People have name, age, image, and note. So that is something which we need to give it here. So or else we'll get this error because of TypeScript. So how to do it in a child component in which props are coming? So for this in React we have a different thing. Like here I'll do React dot fc, and fc means functional component. Okay, iProps. I'll do. What is this iProps? iProps is something which I'm going to make. So I will go here, OC, and maybe I'll remove this thing. This thing is generally not required. Interface iProps, and then in this this people. What is this people? How to make this people? What is this people exactly? So maybe I can copy it from here. People is this. Okay, people is this. Name, age, and all these things are there in the people. Okay, so this is like this. People is there. I think I have still not got. Okay, so I have not. It is telling me that it's not an array. Okay, it will give you like this also. You can take it from here also. So it is telling me that I received something wrong. Okay, so I received something wrong. Okay, so the thing is that missing. Okay, if you see it here, okay, it's going. It has got this also, because it's not just a object, it's an array of object, because I'm passing the whole array there. I'm not passing single one of them. I'm not mapping through it here. Okay, not mapping through it. I'm passing the whole array of object there. So how I will fix it here? So at the end there will be this array. See, the moment I did it, see, the error is fixed. So this is given. Now we will just do the React stuff. So TypeScript stuff is done. It's time to do the React stuff. So I'll do a UL I'll do, and then I will do this people dot map. People become person. So we can take item also, but it's take it. It's good to take the correct English keyword. So people and person I have taken. Then ally dot list. So we're going to have some bit of styling and all. Okay, and then div dot list header, and inside this, so I'm getting images and all those things. Okay, so img dot list img, and in this source will be person dot img, which I have. Maybe I will give the alt also. Alt I can give person dot name, and list image is there. And then after this I will have a h2 it will be person dot name. Then after this div I will have a p and person dot age, years old. And then I will have another p dot list node, and person dot node is there. Save it and see. Persons are showing nicely. Okay, so that is there, and maybe we will add some css also. So because that for that only we have given all these things. Okay, so not going to go through much of the css because this is not a css course, of course. So app dot css. Okay, so I will then remove it and save it. Coming perfectly. Maybe it is not for this much screen. Okay, so that is there. Okay, so this is coming perfectly. Now what we need to do, so here we're going to close it. Now we need to have something to add the people. So add the people, we need to have something. So I will go here and then create a new component, add to people dot tsx, add to people dot tsx. Then okay, again it is giving me error because the moment I do this I have to do rfce, or else it will always give me error because it's a TypeScript. So here we'll have a const input comma set input equal to use state, and because I want to take this 4 things from here, so we know what the 4 things we need to take. Name, we need to take age, we need to take node we need to take, and img we need to take. So these 4 things we need to take. Now after this I'll come here and we are going to do the add people thing here. Div of class name equal to add people, and input is there. Let me make it a bit bigger. Input, and on change we will have, and then in this on change this handle change, and then class name of add input and name equal to name. Let me make it a bit smaller. Name, anyways, it will go to the next line. Name equal to name. Value equal to input dot name placeholder equal to name. Okay, so I will copy 2 more times. So this handle change will be handle change only. Add input is there. Instead of name, it will be age, and this will be input dot age, and this one also will be age. This one is img, and value is img. Placeholder is, because you have to enter the URL. The placeholder will be URL. Then I will have a text area also. So let me copy it and I will make it a text area. And this is text area, and it will also call the handle change. Name will be node, and value will be node, and placeholder will be node. And let me close this text area, and then I will have a button and add to list, and on click will be equal to again this, and not this will be handle click. On click will be handle click, and okay, I will cut it. Okay, so this is there. Now I have to make this handle change and handle click. So let me make that, because it is giving error because of that, because it is not finding this thing. And even if I save it, it will give me error, or a lot of error, because this is what TypeScript is all about. Unless you create all of them, it will give you a lot of errors. Okay, so that is there. Then I'll do a const handle change equal to e, because this e I have to give. So let me give it in a bracket, and set input. So handle change, I'm making it 1. So this is a trick which I have told in which you should know. Not okay. Dot input. So whatever the input is there, then okay. Let me do it in different lines. This trick is because of ES6 feature. Okay, so what I am going to do here, e dot target dot name is e dot target dot value. E dot target dot name is e dot target dot value. So the name is if we will not do this thing, we have to take this handle change like this, four different functions. But I don't want to take 4 different functions, so I've taken it like e dot target dot name. On whenever I will add something there, it will be changed to name. Name will be equal to whatever the user types there. So it will be like that. So okay. So let me also do a const handle click. Right now, let me make it an empty function so that I can get rid of the error, but the error is still not gone, because we have to do what is this e? What is this e? We have to do, because this is TypeScript. This is not plain vanilla JavaScript. Okay, so this e is we have not yet done. What is e? So e is React. What is the type of it? React dot change event. React dot change event, and it is HTML input element or HTML text area element, because this input, either it will be input element like this, there are three input elements, and one is the text age. So that is what we have to give. Now it is done. Now we are done. I think I have to make it a bit bigger. Make this much bigger. It's okay. Okay. So that is there. Now this is done. This is looking good, and but we have not yet added it. So app.css and all is done. So now we will add this to the our app.tsx file. So here I'll go and do a add two people, and people equal to people set people equal to set people. Okay, so set people, the set people have done. So this also I'm doing. So now I can get a lot of error. So why I'm getting an error? So if I hover my mouse over it, I will get that value of it, like it is not given and all. And this set people also is there. I want to also get the value of this thing. Okay, so it is like it is telling me that react.dispatch action set action. This is a type which you should be putting it there. Okay, so let us go to add to people, to people, because we have to add some props there. Okay, so we'll go to add to people, and it will get two props. One is set people and comma people. Okay, so this set people is there. What is the value of the set people? And that is something which we can. This is a shortcut in your TypeScript. Means this is a trick. You hover your mouse. Okay, now it is not coming because you have given it. So earlier it was not giving. Okay, so let me do one thing. Let me again remove it. So you'll get the error here, and if I move hover my mouse over it, so you'll get it what it is. So what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to use this trick, and I'm going to copy this thing, because it is sometimes difficult to get what is react.dispatch set action, what is that. Okay, so I will copy this all, and so that I can have this thing. I'll copy this all because I will require this thing. Okay, so now I'll go here and put set people comma people, and then this props is there, so I have to do the same thing. So some things you should know: react dot functional component, and the same thing I props you have to do always. I props I will do, and then I will come here and do a interface I props, and interface I props. First, let me write for the set people. Set people is like this. People is still giving me error. People is easy, and I will directly do it like people. People is of type name. I think I have done it earlier also. I think, yeah. So people have done it earlier. So I'll take it from there. Okay, so people have taken it from there, and I have a comma here. People and set people are both of them are done. Okay, save. See now everything is showing nicely. Okay, so this all are there. Okay, we have this nice thing, and now we need to have this handle click enabled, because this handle click is not yet enabled. So we'll have this thing. Okay, so we will go here, and in this handle click add some functionalities. If not of input dot name, or not of input dot age, and not of input dot img, or not of input dot note, and return. Then return. Okay. Then I have to do this Okay, so set people, see, we can also pass something like a value like set people in the props. So that is what we are doing here. So this is a trick which we can do. From set people we are passing it here. From here we are when you're clicking it, it is going back. So it is like going back as a method as props. Again, a React trick. Don't want to tell much about it because you should know this much React. Okay, set people is there, and then here I'll do, and it will be dot 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 people. We have to always use this spread operator because I need to take all the other things if they are already there. If there's not one people, there can be multiple people. Just like here, there can be multiple people. So I have to take this thing. Then I have to do a name is input dot name. Age is, see, by default what will happen, everything from here it comes as a string. So I have to use a number, and then input dot age, number is input dot age, comma img is input dot img, comma node is input dot node. Okay, and then what I have to do, I have to do this set input because when we'll add everything, that things will also remain there. So this is a common thing which happens, and then I have to make the name, age, note, and image as empty string. So let me make it quickly. What I'll do, I'll take this thing, and instead of this I'll make this, instead of this I'll make this empty string, empty string, empty string. So save it. Okay, so now let us see whether it is working or not. And in the window URL I should give. Okay, so there is I know what URL I have to give. Okay, API dot github tech. I will give my URL. Okay, I think this one is the URL. So this one I'll give, and URL, and allergic to nothing, and I'll add to list. You can see it is coming. It is coming perfectly. So this is what about this small React app. The main thing is not the React app. The main thing is how we're using TypeScript. So next we are going to do a React Redux app with TypeScript. Thank you. TypeScript. So we've already done some thing like creating the project. I've created the project with this npx create react app template TypeScript Redux takes, and I also installed some of the things which is required in this project. After seeding to it, npx I Redux, React Redux, Redux thunk, type of React Redux, and type of this. Types are sometimes required. So sometimes these third-party libraries, they're not written in TypeScript. So this @ types are required. So we have added this @ types. Now let's get started, and we'll open this with VS Code. And then we need to have a, inside this src folder, we will have a state folder, and inside this state folder we'll have a actions, not a file, sorry, not a file, this is not a file, so I'll delete it. It's inside this state I will have a actions reducers and types folder, and inside this action and types I'll have a index.ts file, index.ts file, and the moment I create it, it will give me error. And in the reducer, I'll have a bank reducer.ts file, bank reducer.ts file. Now close this all. Now in this first let us create the types here. So we'll go to the types, and it is like the Redux types which you need to do, but we can take the help of enums and all those things because TypeScript have those things. So export enum action type and deposit equal to deposit, comma, withdraw equal to withdraw, withdraw equal to withdraw, and do set. So that is done. Now the next thing is that in this action types we have to do. So this is not the action creator we are going to create later on. This is just the action types, because this types we will create this also. So I'll do a import action type from types, and then interface deposit action, and type is action type dot deposit, comma, payload is number, and deposit action is a we will have a withdraw. So this very simple app, like deposit and withdraw will only be there. So in the this deposit action, and then this will be withdraw action, and it will be withdraw payload number. And then what I'm going to do, export type action equal to deposit action and union of withdraw action, again a TypeScript thing which we have seen earlier. So these two things will be there. Now in the bank reducer, it's time to go to the bank reducer, create a reducer here. So first thing which we are going to do is import action from dot actions, and import action type from types, and there will be a const initial state equal to 0, then const reducer equal to state, comma, state equal to initial state, comma, action. So this is what we would have done if it was a React project, but it's a TypeScript also. So we have to give the type of it. It's better to give the type of it. This type will be number. Let me have a space here. The type will be number here, and the action, the type will be the action. So which we have created, this action type, this one. Okay. So, and one more thing I want to do, I want to give a return type also. So this function have a return type of number. So the return type also I've given. Now I'll have a switch case, switch as always in a user action dot type, and case action type dot deposit, and return state plus action dot payload. Okay, and then case action type dot withdraw is return state minus action dot payload, then default is return state, and and go here and export default and reducer is there, and save it. Now what we have types and all we have introduced. So in this bank reducer only, I am going to have a index.ts file, so which will have this combined reducer thing which you have in Redux. So please, you should have basic knowledge of Redux to understand this. Okay, import, because this is mainly a TypeScript project, not a Redux React project and all. Some of those things are required to have. So combined reducer, then I will have a import bank reducer from dot bank reducer, then const reducers equal to combine reducers, and then bank is bank reducer. Okay, then after this I'll have a export default reducers, export default reducers. So now the thing is that finally we are going to create a action creator folder. So action creator will be again inside the state. I'll have a creators folder. Here inside this index.ts I'll have, and let us have everything here. So here we'll have something like import. There is a thing known as this patch from React. We're soon going to use it, and this reduce bank reducer. I want these types actually here also, so I will add them here. Then as an action getter we'll have the functions here. Okay, so we'll have the functions, and it will be export const deposit money equal to amount is number, and type of number, return dispatch means dispatch action, and will be having this. So this is dispatch thing again a Redux thing. Okay, and then type will be action type dot deposit comma payload is amount. Okay, like this is there. Now I'll come here and do this and withdraw money, and action type dot it will be not deposit, it will be withdraw, and payload will be whatever the amount is there. So that is done. Now it's time to make the store. So in the store will be created in the state folder. So we'll create a store dot js, and this store will have this middleware and also just like a Redux store, import apply middleware comma create store will be there, import thunk from Redux thunk, import reducers from reducers. Okay, so then export const store equal to create store, and then it will take 3 parameter reducers, comma, this empty thing, and apply middleware. And in this apply middleware, I will take a thunk will be taken. Okay, like this it will be taken and saved. So now this is done. Now we will also create a index.ts file in this main state folder. So what will happen if I create index.ts file in the state folder? It will be easy for the imports. So I'll do a index.ts file, and here I'll do a export star from so and export star as action creators from creators, action creators. So this is the name which I am giving it. So this is done. Now finally we will have to go to our index.tsx file to set up Redux. Okay, so set up Redux. Actually I don't need this report vital and all, so I will cut it. And this react.strict mode is also not required. It's not some strict mode in React. It causes more errors than it do something. Okay, nowadays, so the console logs have errors, so I will mainly add it instead of it. So provider from React Redux. So I don't know why this is not coming. So this provider is there. Then I will come here and store equal to so this is very common Redux addition, how we do it. Okay, so this, let me have it also. Store is also there. From state, save it, and let me close some of it. Bank reducer. Okay, create a store this. Actually I'll close most of them. Okay, so now what we need to do, okay, there is one thing which is remaining in this bank reducer. We have index.ts, so there is a, we need to have a type of this reducer also, because we're soon going to require it, or else we will get a TypeScript error. So we do that. So export type root state equal to return type is type of reducers. Okay, so that is there. Save it. Type of reducers is there. Now in the our main app.tsx file we'll go app.tsx file, and here we have to add all these things. Okay, we have not yet done our npm start. So let it be done. So we are going to we're going to now remove all these things. So this header and all I'll remove, and I will save it. Nothing will be shown. React and logo I don't need. Save. Now we'll add the Redux concept of use selector who can use dispatch hook. So I'll have a const mount equal to use selector, and here I have to give the state, and this state type is root state, which we have done now, and it will be state dot bank. Then I'll have a const dispatch equal to use this use dispatch, and I have to use those action creator of deposit money, comma, withdraw money equal to bind action creators. Again, it is from Redux, bind action creators, and it is like action creators, which is again from state, action creators, comma, dispatch. Action creators, comma, dispatch is there. So that is done. Now here inside this, I will have a h1 of amount and button of deposit, and here on click equal to deposit money 1000, withdraw money 500, withdraw, save it. So I'm having this thing, and deposit is working fine. So global state is there, and withdraw is working fine. So this completes our React Redux was and also our course. So hope you liked it. Please give us a thumbs up if you liked it, and with this, thank you all, bye.